Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Genealogy.
Hello there, my YouTube minions. It is I, your unfriendly neighborhood Skeletor. Now, my Motu friends, it has happened. I, Skeletor, have been vindicated. That's right. Apparently, over the week, it seems as though there have been some set leaks or releases, I don't know, from the set of the newest Masters of the Universe upcoming live-action film, set to re-release 2026, I believe.
Our return engagement.
I mean, that's if they don't have to do some reshoots. You know? Because you never know with Hollywood these days. And judging by some of these images that I'm going to show you, well, let's just say I believe they might actually be reshoots.
What a mess.
Now, when I say I've been vindicated, my friends, well, this is what I mean. I, Skeletor, have been pretty adamant when I said that the leaks of the storyline that I had read were coming from a pretty legit source. I mean, they got all the other things right. You know, the casting, the director, and all that stuff. So why would they get the facts of the storyline wrong? You know? But still, I, Skeletor, have been kind of holding hope that the story leaks I had read were wrong. You know, that maybe I was reading just an old story leak, maybe from the Netflix version. But unfortunately for us who want to see a Masters of the Universe film done well, everything that I had read seems to be accurate and true.
Now what?
Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, well, I'm just talking about the fact that, once again, Adam and He-Man are going back to Earth.
Just what everybody needs.
And this time it's even worse than back in 1986, at least back then in 1986 when they did it. It was short-lived and came back home pretty quick. This time it's much, much worse than that. This time, apparently, a young Adam gets sent accidentally over to Earth at a young age, and then spends almost 30 years on Earth.
Oh no. Oh, this is terrible.
Searching, apparently, for his power sword. And then once he gets the power sword, he says, "By the power of Grayskull," and then gets whisked away back to Eternia after living 30 years on Earth. Now, as much as I did not want that to be the reality, it seems like that may actually be the reality of the upcoming film, as the latest set images seem to confirm this. As you can see by the first image that I'm displaying here,
I don't like the looks of this.
you know, it's pretty damning. Right off the hop, we see a pretty obvious Prince Adam, played by Nicholas Galitzine.
Fortunately, we have an actor with us.
You know, and to his credit, he seems to have bulked up.
He may be huge, but he's still a little baby at heart.
So at least there's that. But it's pretty obvious that this is Prince Adam. He's holding the sword here. He's got a pink shirt.
Pink!
You see what I mean? The hypocrisy. On one hand, they say, we're going to change it up. We're going to make it different, which is what they pretty much told us. Don't expect the He-Man that you remember from when you were a kid. We're creating a different version. But not different enough that you won't recognize him, right? You know, it's so different that on Earth, Adam must always wear a pink shirt because he wore one, you know, in the Filmation cartoon.
Who does?
So he must always wear a pink shirt. For 30 years on Earth, pink shirts. Must have a closet just full of pink shirts all the time.
Oh no! Pink! Pink! Pink!
He just has nothing but pink shirts, white t-shirts, and blue jeans. That's his entire wardrobe. Because heaven forbid he wears anything else on Earth.
Well, sometimes.
But what confirms that this is Earth, obviously, is not so much just the pink shirt, but right beside Adam is a police officer. And this looks like a modern police officer, right? So, case closed, we pretty much know that by just this one image alone, that Adam looks about 30 years old here. He looks like he just discovered the sword. He's reading the date, 1983. And right away, rumor confirmed.
I don't like this.
But let's take a look at these other pictures. In this image here now, it seems like He-Man is now getting arrested.
No, you can't.
Now, I'm excited. You know, he's my arch nemesis, him getting arrested. It's kind of funny to me. From a personal level, sure.
Guess again, Skeletor.
But from a movie standpoint, can't get much worse than this. You know, how much tropier can you get? Now, I don't know why Adam, who's supposed to be a really good person, would get arrested. Was he because he's carrying a sword, perhaps? Maybe it's the fact that he's carrying a sword and wearing a pink shirt. They think he's crazy.
Why is that man in pink? Let's go, Pinky.
Now, pink shirt and a sword, he must be nuts.
That's lying.
So right away, this is going to be pretty much trope central. Every trope you can find of him going back to Earth, gets arrested. It seems like the Barbie movie 2.0. Barbie goes to the real world and then gets arrested.
I love me a leotard.
This is ridiculous.
So we already know that we got some real genius writing on our hands right off the hop. Whatever. Here's another image. Look how far he stretched out to push his head into the backseat of the police car. This girl here, she could move aside and let this cop get a little closer. We wouldn't want He-Man to ruin his perfect hair as he goes into the car,
Just mussed my hair.
I think he's just so mesmerized by the softness of Adam's hair. He's sort of like, ooh, what shampoo do you use? Vidal Sassoon?
Control yourself.
So my question is, he has the sword, which means he got to that point where he got the sword in the story, right? And knowing that he's got to go back to help Eternia, because again, I'm only guessing that he knows this, because otherwise, why would he look for the sword? My guess is maybe perhaps he's been hearing the sorceress in his head the whole time.
No.
But instead of grabbing the sword and saying quickly, by the power of Grayskull and going back to Eternia, he allows these two mall cops take the sword from him, And why? You don't have to. Just grab the sword and say, sorry, but I got something to do, and run away, say quickly by the power of Grayskull, and be whisked back. But nah, they're going to try to tease you a little longer with this scene. Oh, he got the sword finally, but drat, the Popo came and took it.
That was a big mistake.
Again, this is going to be absolutely horrible. You can already tell. Now this is, again, Adam. I like this image here because it kind of shows that, that Nicholas Galitzine did some weights. You can really see the muscle he built.
It's time now to turn this mush into muscles.
Yeah, not bad. I think he actually looks a lot like Adam and He-Man, so I do think they picked a good actor visually to play him. The hair looks alright. I don't mind the casting. I mean, it's not perfect. I have my issues with some of it, but for the most part, I think they did a decent enough job.
Well, thanks.
So I don't know why they have to go this stupid route with it, but it's Hollywood, so no amount of stupidity and foolishness surprises me anymore. Here's another image of him being taken out of his house, I guess. So I guess what, did he get caught smoking pot? What the hell is he being arrested for, I wonder? Maybe he was on Facebook and he said something offensive to someone, caused someone anxiety, and then they arrested him. I don't know.
So I did.
God, if that's the case...
I wouldn't want to make a habit of that.
I don't know, if these are accidental leaks, fine. But if the studio released these on purpose, thinking that this was going to entice us, it just shows you how disconnected they are from what actual fans and people really think. Now, let's take a quick look at the sword here. And, at first glance, when I looked at the sword, I thought, sword looks actually pretty accurate.
Pretty good, huh?
Until I did a really close look at the sword and I realized...
Looks like we were wrong.
I've seen better props at Halloween shops than this. Look at how rusted up and horrible, looks like there's corrosion. They didn't weld it properly. I don't know what the hell this is here. In the center part, this V part here, it looks like they didn't solder it properly.
There's something funny going on here.
Maybe this isn't the final prop. I don't know. Maybe this is just the first prop they're using, but if the sword looks a lot like this, then we all know also the budget for this film, because they couldn't even get the sword to look like it's pristine.
It isn't real.
Again, I've seen people online make their own homemade swords look better than this. Again, I'm not talking about the design. The design of the sword is fine. It's actually better than what I had expected, but it just looks like it's made horribly.
Oh, this is terrible.
I don't know, maybe they're gonna CGI the sword and clean it up and post, who knows. But off of just this image here, not a look too good.
Quiet, you drunk.
They put a coat on him, I don't know why. Maybe he just didn't like wearing a pink shirt, and they're like, can someone please cover my shirt here?
Did it work?
He noticed paparazzi were taking pictures, he was like, nah, someone quick, put a jacket around me. I don't want anyone to know I'm wearing a pink shirt.
Well, not really.
But anyway, on some of these images you can clearly see he's got a smartwatch on. I kind of wonder if he does say by the power of Grayskull and gets whisked back to Eternia, does he get to keep the watch? Just He-Man in Eternia with a new watch.
Check it out.
Sure, why not? So anyway, those were the images, and they look pretty horrible. I mean, He-Man himself, Gelatin looks alright. He was not a bad choice. Visually, anyway. I don't know his acting, but visually looked pretty good. But again, it goes back to, did anybody want a film where Adam gets put back to Earth? I mean, that was one of the points of the original film that people had one of the biggest problems with. So it just cannot understand for the life of me why Mattel thought, let's give it another go.
Shut up! That's why!
I don't understand that. They just can't learn lessons in Hollywood. I don't understand. But it's even worse than that. I mean, the implications of him being a child raised on Earth, it's not He-Man at all. And it's not a small little difference, right? So, well, his mother's from Earth.
We Earthlings call a sense of humor.
His mother might have been from Earth, but Adam was raised in Eternia. Like, for example, where's Cringer? He was raised with Cringer.
Was not.
They were friends growing up, him and his tiger buddy. And then when he says by the power of Grayskull, then he points it to Cringer, who then becomes Battle Cat.
Ready, He-Man!
Battle Cat and He-Man are the essence of the Masters of the Universe. Their relationship, their friendship together. Well, does he have a Battle Cat on Earth for 30 years? No. Absolutely not. Impossible. Plus, there's no mention in the casting of a voice for Battle Cat or Cringer. So, once again, either Battle Cat has no voice and he's just a regular cat, which again would kind of suck in my eyes, or my eye sockets, that is. Or then there is just no Battle Cat at all.
I don't even care.
And again, if you're going to remove Battle Cat from the film, then it's not He-Man in the Masters of the Universe. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Oh, no. Anything but that.
You know, and like I said, there's a lot of implications here. He spends 30 years on Earth, forging relationships, probably has a TikTok account, you know? It's modern day, so he's probably out there dancing.
Boy, do I love my buddy.
Hi, this is Adam, and I'm going to prank old ladies on TikTok on the subway, you know? Whatever floats their boat these days on TikTok.
Oh, no.
You know, I have a Twitch account where I play Minecraft all day.
Now I'm really scared.
And that's another thing. This version of Adam looks like he spends a lot of time in the gym, so he probably has a bunch of gym bros he goes with, right? His little gym buddies, eating his protein shakes, you know, maybe that's what his TikTok is about, you know, him in the gym.
Work it, own it, work it, own it, work it, own it.
But my point being is, the original Adam, he was raised as a fighter as well. Yes, he was kind of a spoiled brat kid, but that was something he did mostly for show, you know, acting kind of imbecilic and bumbling so that people didn't suspect he could be He-Man. He had to do something because their face is identical. He doesn't even bother wearing glasses like Clark Kent.
Enough about me.
So my point is, he spends 30 years kind of living this normal human lifestyle, then gets the power sword, does not know how to fight, doesn't know how to wield the sword. Like, if he just gets the sword, does he know how to even use a sword in battle? Or is he going to go back to Eternia like a clumsy oaf, having to learn how to use his powers, you know? Or is he going to be a Gary Stu, you know, the male version of Mary Sue? Oh, I got the power, and now all of a sudden I know everything. He just downloads all the warrior information he needs and becomes an automatic powerhouse that knows how to wield the sword with expert precision, knows how to fight, you know, without even having a learning curve.
Oh, so that's how he does it.
Put it this way, either he becomes a Gary Stu and downloads all the information he needs and becomes super powerful right off the hop, which is boring as hell. You know, I don't care if it's a female who's a Mary Sue or a male Gary Stu. If you don't have to earn your power and there is no learning experience, then it's just boring.
You used to know that.
You know, so my question is, how does he learn how to fight? So either this is just going to be the first part of a multi-part film, where in essence the first part of the film just takes place on Earth with some cutbacks to Eternia once in a while, and then at the end when he gets the power sword, you know, the second part of the film takes place some other time, which is very optimistic, you know? Considering the fact that to justify a second part to the film, people have to want to go watch the first one. So if they're going that route, I'd say you're running a huge risk there, because by the looks of it, I doubt the first part will do well at all. Like I said before, the minute they see the trailer of Adam on Earth, I suspect a lot of downvotes on that trailer.
I've never seen anything like it before.
I mean, there will be people that, I don't know, we'll give it a chance. But I guarantee the apathy of today's movie audience and the only people who actually give a crap about He-Man at this point tend to be Gen Xers, and they want the He-Man they remember, not this. I really have a hard time believing that you're going to see a lot of upvotes when the trailer comes out. So the odds of this getting a sequel, not high, in my opinion.
It's no use.
So my guess is I don't think they're going to go the 2-part or 3-part route, which means then they're just going to cram the entire plotline into one film. So he gets the power sword late in the game, gets whisked to Eternia, says goodbye to his gym buddies, probably his girlfriend he had back on Earth, his parents that raised him there. Bye, I'll never see you again. See you later, Earth. Glad you were there for 30 years, but I don't need you now. Screw you, Earth. It was nice knowing you. I'm going back to my homeworld now. Thanks for all the good times.
Well, the danger's over.
You know, and if that's what's going to happen, then what's the point in even putting him on Earth? You could have done the similar plot line where he gets lost as a child, maybe he gets amnesia, forgets who he is, has to live in the wild, maybe raised by Cringer's family, like in the CGI series, which was actually not a horrible idea at all. You know, maybe he has to at some point realize that he's gotta find the power sword, but he earns it. Maybe he goes on a quest to find the power sword.
That is the best idea I've heard all day.
And this movie could have been a younger version of Adam in a quest to find the power sword and to figure out who he really is. Him and Cringer and Orko, they were orphans, having to go on a journey together. Then he earns the power sword through the natural challenges of his quest. You know, gets his memory back, realizes he's Prince Adam, and has a greater purpose than he realized.
I was just enjoying your story.
You know, they could have gone that route. But no, instead of doing that, they decide, just have him lost on Earth, where he could play Minecraft, watch TikTok videos, and the modern audience will relate to it, right? You know, because all those modern Gen Zers and new young generation, they're just dying to watch Prince Adam play Minecraft, because that's exactly what they want to see.
There's one way we can find out.
You never learn, Hollywood. You keep doing the same thing. You piss off the fans you already have. You take them for granted while chasing an audience that does not exist.
Just never learn, do they?
And then when it fails, you don't even have a self-righteous, woke cause to fall back on, you know? You can't say, well, you don't like He-Man because he's played by this demographic. There's not going to be any of that to back you up. You're going to fail because you deserve to fail. And you're not going to be able to defend your film with a woke armor.
I don't like people who destroy trees.
Oh, you're just racist or misogynist or homophobic. Or maybe they do, I don't know. Maybe that explains the pink shirt.
Just because I'm wearing a pink shirt, it doesn't mean I'm some kind of a pink donut eater.
Anyway, that's all really I have to say about this. Am I surprised? No, not at all. Am I disappointed? Well, hell yes. Will I be watching this? You know, maybe I will just for the sake of this channel, you know, just so that I can rag on it. Or maybe I'll just boycott it altogether and say, you know, it doesn't even deserve my attention.
You confuse me.
And there's that other thought that I have sometimes where I'm thinking, well, if I don't support this, then I'm telling the studios that there is no audience for He-Man, and I may never get the He-Man film that I want.
No, that was my only hope.
Maybe I have to suffer through these horrible incarnations until we get to the good one. But that's a very optimistic way of thinking, because I don't get any sense at all that Hollywood is capable of making this film good, because it's just corporate think right here, and that's all it is. And so maybe the only way to get a He-Man film done well is if we fans do it ourselves. Well, I personally would make He-Man lose because I'm a villain and you all would hate it.
Power is now mine!
You fiend.
I would love it, but you would all hate it. But you out there who grew up with He-Man, you could all do better than this in your sleep. So I challenge you out there, you know, write a better script, produce a homemade film, and I guarantee it'll look better than this.
You've got to.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you going to give this a chance? I'm still undecided on which way I want to go, but that's just me. But anyway, once again, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Shaney Holiday. Until next time.